Uh, Hello children, today I am going to discuss about different parts of flowers. You know, flower have mainly four parts. Two is essential part and two is accessory part. Accessory means not essential. Okay, so essential part is generally pistil. You know this diagrams. The essential part is pistil. Inside the pistil you find a stigma, a style and ovary. In stamen you will find anther and filaments. So pollen grain formation occur through meiosis. Pollen grain formation occur through meiosis. Male gametes form by sporogenesis and female gamete, that is egg, formed by oogenesis. Okay, there is two words, one is spermatogenesis and one is oogenesis. Okay, so all of you try to understand the different body part of the flowers. You know, generally female part is present at the center. Female part is present at the center, okay, of the flower. Okay, and male part is generally present around the female part. Okay, do you know what is self pollination, what is cross pollination? If pollen grain transfer from anther to a stigma of the same flower, then it is known as self pollination. And if the transfer of pollen grain from anther to a stigma of other flower, that is cross pollination. So after pollination I want to discuss the fertilization, triple fusion and double fertilization. You can observe in the diagram figure number 6, internal structure of ovule. You know, if you observe the structure, just go through the book, page number 126. Yes, so you observe there is a 8 nucleus inside the ovule. There is a 8 nucleus. Bolo. There is a 8 nucleus inside the ovule. So you know that is the egg cell at the center. Then synergids that will support the nutrition to the growing eggs. Okay. Then polar nuclei that make the endosperm, and then nucleus, antipodal cell. Okay, antipodal nucleus. So there are 8 nucleus, 8 cell nucleus of the egg. That is opposite of the egg cell. Opposite of the, yes, egg cell. Okay, so when pollen grain will germinate after pollination, you see in the figures, you can observe the figures. If you observe, there is a germination of pollen grain occur in the lower diagram. दिख रहा है आपको? So after germination of pollen tube will form. क्या बनेगा? Pollen tube. So sporopollenin, that is a compound that will help in formation of pollen tube. Okay, so all of you try to understand the formation of pollen tube, and you know this pollen tube will reach up to where? Egg. कहाँ जाएगा ये? Egg cells. ठीक है ना? And after reaching of the two nucleus, you can observe in the third side, you can observe in the third diagram there is a two nucleus. Okay, in the third diagram you can observe the two nucleus. So you know, one nucleus will fuse with the egg, one nucleus will fuse with the egg, just see. Okay, and other nucleus will fuse with the polar nucleus. So fusion of the male gamete and the egg, that is known as fertilization. That is known as fertilization. Okay, ये मैं पढ़ लेता हूँ तो कुछ देख. Okay, so you try to understand the fertilization and triple fusion. Can you tell me what is fertilization? Fusion of male and female gamete. Means male means polar male nucleus. There is a male nucleus will come through pollen tube. So two male nucleus will come through pollen tube. Okay, one male nucleus will fuse with the egg, and other male nucleus will fuse with polar nucleus. Okay, so first event, that is known as fertilization, means fusion of male gamete, that is coming through the pollen tube with the egg cell, that is known as fertilization. Okay, and the fusion of the other male gamete with the polar nuclei, that is known as triple fusion, that is known as triple fusion. So fertilization and triple fusion combined together, and that process collectively known as double fertilization, that process collectively known as double fertilization. Okay, so you know, you have to differentiate fertilization and double fertilization and triple fusion. So simple fertilization is fusion of the male gamete with egg nucleus, and triple fusion is fusion of the other male gamete with the polar nuclei, that is triple fusion. Fertilization will produce zygote. Fertilization will produce zygote, but triple fusion will produce endosperm. This triple fusion will produce endosperm, and when these two process collectively, we can say it is double fertilization. So internal ovary development occur after fertilization and triple fusion. Okay, so first of all, you try to know what is the function of synergids. Synergid cell it is just like a guard cell of the egg cell. Okay, it will provide the nutrition to the growing egg cell. It will provide the nutrition to the growing egg cell, and after fertilization, zygote will form, and this zygote will develop into growing embryo, and it will form the seed. Next, that is through triple fusion, we can get the endosperm, that is the reserve food material for the seed. Okay, reserve food. So when you put the seed inside the soil, that endosperm will produce the energy and the germination will proceed. Okay, so that is help in providing energy after respiration of the endosperm. Okay, so just see this in this diagram, that synergids is there. It provides the nutrition to the growing egg cell and antipodal cell. You can observe. So anybody ask what is the number of nucleus inside the any ovary? That is 8 nucleus. Okay, 8 nucleus. One is egg, two there is a synergist, 2 in numbers, and then polar nuclei, that is in center, and then other end, that is antipodal. Okay, so just see the release of the in a sperm cell, that is the male gamete. It will fuse with the egg cell and make the zygote, and that zygote will form the seed. Okay, and then inside the cell, after fusion, it will make the endosperm, and that endosperm will act as a reserve food. That endosperm will act as a reserve food for the seed or the fruit. Okay, generally this endosperm is present inside the seed. Okay, so this is the overall structure of the seed, where you get the reserve food, and when you germinate that seed, then it will germinate due to breakdown of the endosperm cell, and it will provide the energy for the development of the root and shoot. Okay, so try to know the ploidy level of the different part of the ovule. So you can observe that is generally egg cell is haploid, that is n in number, that is, and if you observe the zygote, that is 2n in number, but endosperm, that is a special case where you get the 3n. Why it is 3n? Because 2 polar nuclei plus 1 male gamete, it will combine 2 plus 2n plus 1n. one end of the male nucleus, it will make a 3n. So this 3n condition is very, very important. If you want to develop the triploid plant, so you have to take the sample from the endosperm. So you can produce the seedless variety of so many things through plant tissue culture. You get the bigger size fruit or vegetables through this cell, through plant tissue culture. So this is the overall structure of the ovule and ovary of the growing angiosperm plants. So this is the overall structure. So you try to observe each and every part and try to recall each part and what are the function of egg cell, what are the function of synergids, what are the function of antipodal cells, and what is the function of two male nucleus. Sporopollenin is the compound that is responsible for making pollen tube formation. Okay, and through this pollen tube only two male nucleus will come inside the ovary. One will fuse with egg cell and other will fuse with polar nuclei. But when it will fuse with egg cell, it will make the zygote, and finally it will develop into seed, and the polar nuclei will make the endosperm. Okay, so this is the overall development of the seeds. Thank you and have a nice day.